I don't know anything about Ryan. I don't care. Finding him so he can go home. If that earns me the right to get back to my wife, well then, that's my mission.
Okay, series finders, let's be real. We've all had that moment after watching an epic war masterpiece like Saving Private Ryan, where we just stare at the blank screen thinking, well, what could possibly follow that? I've been there too. Which is why I've binge-watched my way through decades of television to bring you the absolute must-watch shows that capture that same raw intensity, brotherhood, and heart-pounding combat energy. Welcome to Series Finder, where we're about to dive into the explosive world of wartime storytelling that'll keep you glued to your screen.
This is Easy Company, the first and finest company in this regiment.
If you thought the Normandy landing in Private Ryan was intense, just wait until you immerse yourself in this stunningly produced miniseries that follows Easy Company of the 101st Airborne Division, from their jump training all the way through the end of the European campaign. What makes this masterpiece so extraordinary isn't just the battle scenes, which are brutally realistic, but the incredible attention to human detail. You'll feel like you're marching right alongside these men as they form unbreakable bonds through unimaginable circumstances. The casting is perfection, with Damian Lewis delivering a career-defining performance as the humble yet heroic Major Winters. Executive produced by the dream team of Spielberg and Hanks, this is quite simply the gold standard of wartime television. The show, none other than the legendary Band of Brothers. Ready to shift theaters from Europe to the Pacific? This visceral companion piece to Band of Brothers delivers what might be the most unflinchingly brutal depiction of the Pacific campaign ever put to screen. Following 3 Marines across multiple infamous battles, the series doesn't shy away from the psychological toll of combat in a way that'll leave you emotionally devastated, but profoundly grateful for the sacrifice. The production values are through the roof. You can practically feel the humidity and taste the fear during the relentless combat sequences. What really got me was how the show explores what happens after the bullets stop flying, following our heroes home to a world that can never understand what they've endured. Keep tissues handy for this one, friends. You're searching for the Pacific, another Spielberg and Hanks masterpiece. Who's ready for a completely different perspective? This gripping German series offers something rare in World War II storytelling, a look through the eyes of those on the other side of the conflict. Set aboard a U-boat and in occupied France, the series masterfully builds claustrophobic tension while exploring the moral complexities of war. The character development is extraordinary, with crew members wrestling with their conscience as they carry out orders they don't believe in. The submarine sequences are so authentically cramped and intense that I actually found myself holding my breath during depth charge attacks. It's a morally complex world where no one comes out clean, and it'll have you questioning everything you thought about wartime morality. Find this nuanced masterpiece under the title Das Boot.
Stop thinking and follow me, cried Hitler. I will make you masters of the world.
Let's jump from historical fiction to fascinating reality with this incredible docuseries that explores how Hollywood's greatest directors literally went to war. The series follows 5 legendary filmmakers, including John Ford and Frank Capra, who put their careers on hold to document the World War II effort and how their experiences changed both them and cinema forever. The archival footage is absolutely stunning, and hearing modern directors like Del Toro discuss their work creates this beautiful through line across decades of film history. I came for the history lesson but stayed for the emotional stories of how these artists risked everything to bring the truth home. It completely changed how I watch classic films. Look up 5 Came Back on Netflix for this cinematic history lesson. Okay, imagine taking everything you know about war storytelling and flipping it completely on its head with dark satire and bureaucratic absurdity. This brilliant limited series, based on Joseph Heller's classic novel, follows a bombardier stationed in Italy during World War II who's trying desperately to get out of combat missions by proving he's insane. The catch, wanting to avoid certain death, apparently proves you're sane enough to keep flying. The writing is razor sharp, the performances are perfectly pitched between comedy and tragedy, and it captures the sheer madness of war in a way that's hilarious and heartbreaking. I've never laughed so hard while feeling slightly guilty about it. This is the brilliant, absurdist Catch-22 on Hulu. Now let's venture into alternate history with this mind-bending series that asks, what if the Allies had lost World War II? Set in a 1960s America divided between Japanese and German control, the series follows characters navigating this terrifying reality while resistance fighters work to overthrow the regime. The world building is absolutely incredible, from the chillingly plausible technology to the subtle details of everyday life under occupation. What really got me was how this show makes you feel a psychological weight of oppression in your bones. It's a sobering reminder of why the actual outcome of the war mattered so profoundly, and it'll have you hugging your freedom a little tighter. This is the dystopian thriller The Man in the High Castle.
Надо жить и уметь побеждать не только жертвами.
Time to spotlight some often overlooked heroes with this Russian series about an all-female night bomber regiment known by the Germans as the Night Witches. These incredibly brave pilots flew flimsy wooden biplanes on nighttime bombing runs, using the engine idle to silently glide over targets before dropping their payloads. The series balances intense aerial combat with the personal stories of these women who face both enemy fire and sexism to defend their homeland. The nighttime flight sequences are some of the most tension-filled scenes I've ever watched. I was literally on the edge of my couch. It's a thrilling tribute to courage that history almost forgot. Search for Night Swallows to discover this hidden gem. Let's jump to modern warfare with this ground-level look at the early days of the Iraq War through the eyes of an embedded Rolling Stone journalist. The series follows a Marine recon unit as they push towards Baghdad, capturing both the intense combat and the mind-numbing boredom of military life with documentary-like realism. The authenticity is staggering, from the military jargon to the improvised solutions to unexpected problems. What really struck me was how this show avoids political statements to focus on the human experience of these young Marines just trying to survive each day. The cast, led by Alexander Skarsgård, disappears into their roles so completely you'll forget you're watching actors. This is the brutally authentic Gen Kill. Back to World War II we go with this groundbreaking 1960s series that basically laid the groundwork for all the realistic war drama that followed. Following American soldiers fighting their way across France after D-Day, the show was revolutionary in its gritty realism and focused on the psychological toll of combat rather than glorified heroics. The black and white photography holds up surprisingly well, creating this beautiful, moody atmosphere that makes every moment feel more intense. Sure, some of the production values show their age, but the writing and performances, especially Vic Morrow as the weary Sergeant Saunders, remained powerfully effective. It's like watching history come alive. This classic is called Combat, and it's streaming on several platforms.
My darling Mary, for the rest of my life, if ever I go silent or seem to leave you even when you're right beside me, you'll know where I am.
We're ending with something truly unique, an animated war series based on the incredible true story of the 45th Infantry Division's 500-day journey from Sicily to Germany. Using innovative trioscope animation that rotoscopes over live-action performances, this series creates this dreamlike yet visceral experience that somehow makes the horrors of war both stylized and immediate. The main character, Felix Sparks, is one of those real-life heroes whose story seems almost too incredible to be true. From devastating losses to liberating concentration camps, the animation style might take a few minutes to adjust to, but once you do, you'll be completely immersed in one of the most visually distinctive war stories ever told. This unique gem is called The Liberator. Find it on Netflix. And there you have it, my fellow series addicts. 10 absolutely incredible shows that'll keep that Saving Private Ryan energy alive for weeks of binge watching. If you found this helpful, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button and bell notification. We're dropping new series recommendations every week to keep your watch list packed with quality entertainment. Thanks for watching. Until next time, happy watching.